Okay, so on this episode, I have visual artist and music enthusiast Jason Bandy. Jason has deep roots in the Detroit and Baltimore art scenes. Over the years, his art shows have been delightful additions to the art venues in Baltimore and historic festivals such as Artscape. His impact on the East Coast graffiti scene and the in-depth appreciation of the culture of hip hop is the main reason why I'm excited and grateful to speak with my buddy Jason today. Hey, what's up,
Eh,
Jason?
Um, for first and foremost, besides being his friend and that nice intro, I'm very excited to be here because Mike and I have been friends with so many years, and we've cultivated our ideas and our free style, spontaneous, like just well, let's go check out this show. We don't need a group of people to go. Or the thing that amazed me about him was like he'd go see a hardcore show solo if he couldn't, like if I had to work a shift or whatever. I don't know. It was just very impressive. But we saw the likes of just a wide variety of musician appreciators that go hand in hand with what I'm more about. I'm a visual artist. I love music. I grew up on hip hop and hardcore, but I don't play any music, but I'm illy with the can
Mhm,
and a
mhm.
sketchbook, and I design tattoos. I don't have one drop on me because I'm kind of a bitch with pain, but no. So I'm very excited to be here with Mike and be here.
Awesome, man. I appreciate it, man. So, at what age did you discover your love for the arts? And do you have any early memories of
I do.
initial pieces that you created as a youngster?
Yes, I do, and that's a good question. Here's the thing: it's like all kids, regardless, elementary, public school, private school, you know, they put crayons and pencils in our hands. And then there's a time where then they you start focusing to the sciences or the music or the mathematics, kind of to the point where it's like, well, if you're an artist, yeah, you can be an artist, but you got to be really good. Or if you're a musician, you can be in the band camp, but can you really rock that drum like someone in like down south Louisiana can? I don't know, but it has to be inspired and you have to make that choice, and it's a hard choice to make because I fell victim to it where it was like my family wanted me to be a lawyer and I wanted to be an artist, a graffiti artist, a b-boyer. I wanted to hang out and listen to drum and bass,
Mhm.
and I couldn't believe, like, oh my god, Public Enemy's got you know the guitarist from Slayer on that shit. Like, what? And skate over to my friend's house and just get nice. That was life. That was living to me. And skateboarding, of course, but
Mhm.
no, it's those things. Otherwise, I always looked at other people's growing up in childhood as boring. If you
So
have to
you,
you have
s-
to have a passion.
awesome. So you connected like music, poetry, and art at an early age, for
Yeah,
sure.
and Anthrax, Megadeth, Skinny Puppy, Nine Inch Nails, and
Mhm.
this is early. I mean, I graduated in '92. I'm an old head. I'm 46, but I was
So like
skating.
my vivid memories of art with the heavy metal would be like Iron Maiden and the Eddie covers from
Oh,
back in the day and
well,
the
and
glow in the dark posters they used to have at
yeah,
Spencer's. You know.
yes, yep. And it's great that you brought up Iron Maiden because he was one of the most intriguing and influential artists that I ever saw, because every
Hmm.
time Iron Maiden came up with a new album, it would just be Eddie in a different scene, like Aces High, where he was, in like a World War II plane, or it was like Living Dead or something where he's like all like, Walking Dead type shit. But and I remember when that guy passed away, I was like, damn, because shit, Iron Maiden's old as shit now, you know.
Yeah, at this
You
point,
know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah, yeah,
saying?
yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
so imagine the artists that they kept forever. But I had those posters, and my dad used to take me down to Detroit to the smoke shops, the head shops where you walk in, it
Right.
smells like patchouli,
And in the
whatever.
back, they would have the fluorescent
Posters.
posters.
Yeah.
Right.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah. And my dad be like, you can get 3. I'm like, I'll take those 2. But I like that one of Motley Crue with Vince Neil, and he's all dressed in leather, like white leather,
Oh
which is
yeah.
almost like gay, but not. I'm just saying it's weird to go from like hardcore to like feminine, but it isn't. It's like
Well,
if you
it
love gay,
definitely was a level of androgyny with the Motley
right?
Crue, you know what I mean? But
Even with
dude,
Marilyn Manson,
yeah, but dude,
you
like
know,
the arts on like Solid the Devil and Too Fast for Love, you
oh
know,
my
that's some unforgettable stuff as a kid because we were what,
God,
9, 10, 11 years old seeing that, and it was
man.
definitely like shock, glam, shock rock, punk rock, you know what I mean?
Oh,
That's what I attribute Motley at those
you're
days.
right.
Yeah.
And Shout at the Devil was like forbidden. It was almost like reefer madness. It was like, if your kids listen to this, they're going to hell in a handbasket.
Yeah,
But then,
yeah.
shout, shout, shout at the devil. And I would try to bust the ollie, but I'd bust my ass. I'd face plant, be like, oh man, this sucks.
So tell me a little bit about the art scene in Detroit. Like, any art memories or music memories from Detroit as a youngster, or you weren't really dwelling in that when you were
Well,
living there? Or
to be honest, I wish I had cooler stories because growing up, Detroit was very industrial. So it's like people that went there, they commuted like they kind of do in Baltimore. So if
Mhm.
you lived out in the county and then you either took the light rail or whatever, and then you came into the city and then you left the city, you made sure you were at home, blah, blah, blah. But and that was kind of like Detroit. Now, me and my friends would do some crazy shit and hit like Bel Air, like skip school, go Bel Air, and hang out with like, believe me, I'm not trying to hype this shit up or anything, but with like Crips or something. And I had like a Stussy shirt on backwards, and there's these white guys, and I have a picture to prove it of us. And we were probably like, I don't know, 17, 18 in 11th grade. And we're all drinking 40s like we would do out in front of the Inner Harbor. Like
Right.
it's no big deal. We're just skating and we're hanging out with these guys. It's no big deal.
Hmm.
Now, I never, and the art scene, it always sucked, man, in Detroit. Honestly, it's like I've never been influenced by any graffiti artist in Detroit or Michigan, besides mosaics. But
Hmm.
other than that, all my influence came from the East Coast, Baltimore. That's where I was schooled by KSW, Can't Stop Writing. And yeah, anything else I did when I went home in Detroit, people were like, who the fuck is that? Not like saying my shit was good. It was fucking C minus. It
Mm.
wasn't, it wasn't even refrigerator material, you know?
Right, right, right. So, okay, so most of the your exposure was here in Baltimore, was in Baltimore when it comes to the art.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely,
Oh,
absolutely.
okay.
And it started with BMX bikes and just hanging out, drinking, smoking weed, listening to, like I said, Megadeth. I mean, we grew up, I brought in a lot of the hip hop elements because my crew were like, like when you go to a school and you got a group of kids that are drinking Mountain Dew and smoking Marlboro Reds and they're getting ready to work on like fixing some brake pads. And then there's me going to English class 3 years above my English class that I'm supposed to be. And I'm in there talking shit to the teacher, making her cry. There's a difference, but I'm one of those dudes. I'll hang out with anyone. I love everyone, just like you, Mike. I mean, Mike, yo, your personality is so awesome. You
Mm.
can hang out with anyone. Any
Yeah, I've had people tell me that before. You could, hang on with anybody, and hold your own, for sure. Yeah, I'm not like that on purpose. I'm just, I'm
oh, that
open.
it's just
You
you
know what I
because
mean? I'm
you're
just
genuine.
open, open to people and backgrounds and stuff like that. So, are there any in specific writers? Or I know you're a big fan of the beat writers that
Yeah.
that influenced your style or influenced your writing style over the years? Anyone specific beat writers or even authors that you might want to talk
Yeah,
about or hone in on?
absolutely, absolutely. And not to sound generic, but the first one, Kerouac, just because he was more like the freelance partier, kind of like, this is when jazz was popping out and white culture was coming into jazz clubs, and just just digging it and just drinking, getting retarded and smoking weed, and
Mhm.
having a good time. And then Ginsberg, who I actually met, who is famous for writing the book
Really?
Howl.
You met him?
I met him at University of Michigan. I went
Mhm.
to school at Michigan State University, MSU.
Mhm.
He went to well, he did this speech. He did a spoken word at U of M, and me and I think it was three of my friends, my college buddies, went there with mushrooms, all preparated, all planned
Oh,
to,
wow.
to take. And you know what? This is how it started. He comes out real quick, and he's a small guy. He's fragile. I mean, he looks like David Larry, or Larry David from the creator of Seinfeld, but
Mhm.
like but a gay one, which is fine. But anyways, he sits down on this little harmonica and he's like, meditate, meditate. And we're looking at each other like, what the fuck? And then he starts reading the entire book, Howl, his whole
Oh,
book, just by
wow.
just by knowing it. And I was just like blown away. It took him only 45 minutes because it's a quick read. But if you're on mushrooms and you're there with like your best college buddies, and you're like, wow, man, it was amazing. So
Hmm.
him, but I also liked there's, I mean, when it comes down to it, you know, when it comes to the junkie aspect, like Ginsberg, he partied and took a lot of hallucinogenics.
Mhm.
But when it came down to shooting dope, and who was in Drugstore Cowboy the movie? Who did a song with Kurt Cobain?
You know what? You got me on the spot here right now,
All
but
right, Burroughs, bro, Burroughs. William,
okay, yeah.
yeah.
All right.
But yeah, I've always been influenced, just like you are influenced. You are a musician genius.
No,
So if you,
you've no over the years you've pretty much educated me on like those writers, the beat writers. I mean,
oh,
I remember Natalie Merchant had that song Jack Kerouac with the
oh,
10,000 Maniac.
hey,
But
Carol,
from knowing you, you pretty much, hit me to those guys,
well,
So
thank you.
when you
I
asked me
appreciate.
that question just now, that's why I didn't really just roll it off my,
Oh,
top of my dome. But
hey,
yeah.
and Mike, listen, our friendship throughout how many years? It's like decades now. No, we've learned from each other equally. There is
Mhm.
no way possible. You introduced me to Speedy, you've
Yeah.
introduced me to
So yeah,
just a bunch of stuff.
I
But
understand.
go ahead. I'm gonna
So
shut up. I'm gonna shut up on
that's
drink for a
okay.
second.
That's okay. So the elements of hip hop, DJ, breakdancing, graffiti, all of these elements influence your style. You said you used to breakdance back in the day, correct?
Besides skating, why didn't they put skating in there?
And another thing I was going to say is why didn't they put beatboxing in there? I think beatboxing
Uh,
is another element of element of hip hop as far as like
it's
foundation, as far as the foundation.
well, and you think about like the timeline, the Fat Boys were the first ones kind of to actually be known for the human beatbox. But then Dougie Fresh came in, and
Hmm.
his whole thing was like that swing, you
Right.
know. And
Exactly.
then Slick Rick the Ruler had people, and then Rozelle, who I've met and was on, and this is no joke, I fucking hung out with him on a small side stage in Chicago, on one of those Tibetan tours. Never heard of him before in my life.
Yeah,
And
Rozelle from the Roots. Yeah. Yeah, he's remarkable.
I don't know if he's from, I don't know. He could have
Oh
been.
yeah,
And
yeah, he's definitely from
oh,
Roots Crew. He's from the Roots Crew for
oh,
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but I never met the drummer from the Roots. That's the guy I really want to
Oh,
meet.
you talking about Questlove?
Yeah, man. Have
Yeah,
you ever
yeah.
met him?
I've never met him, but I've definitely been
Yeah.
around him a lot. You know what I mean? I've never chopped it up with him. He's like one of those music snobs, you know. He knows a
Uh,
lot
uh,
about music, dude. He's a good DJ too. But I've never met Questlove, no. And you know
yeah.
what? He
Well,
kind of reminds me of Ryan a little bit, the way he talks.
oh,
Yeah,
and
he
not with Jimmy Fallon. So imagine that.
yeah, he
Like
definitely, you know,
school
those
for
two
school
are
sometimes. Fuck that.
kind of similar.
That's when I
Any
go like this.
Anyway, moving on, you know. So
Yeah.
now that
Moving
we're
on to
talking about,
I
yeah,
know.
now that we're talking about hanging out with rock stars, I know that you spent some time with Kid Rock, and can
Yes.
you elaborate on a couple experiences that you had with
Sure.
Kid Rock? And I can't
Absolutely.
remember the his friend, the guy that passed away, the small guy that used to be
Oh,
his
yeah.
partner.
Yeah. Yeah.
But just kind of elaborate on your time hanging out with Kid
Okay.
Rock.
All right. Well, all right. Here's the thing with this. Okay. Growing up in not, I mean, you can say Detroit, Michigan, but if you're living on the suburbs, it's still Detroit, Michigan. So, anyways, I was living in Armada and Mount Clemens, and 15 in Mount Clemens is the same thing as 8 Mile. I've never met Eminem, but I used to go to teen shows. And when I mean teen, like you can't drink even if you think you can drink. No, you get fucking like Shirley Temples, you know.
Mhm.
But you get to see Kid Rock, and he honestly during this, my friend Mike, who ended up being his public assistant, said, Bandy, you love hip hop. You got to come check this out. This dude's fucking dope. He skates, whatever. I'm like, cool, man. There's hotties there. Sure. Z Cavaricis. Sure. I got them, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, he ironed his hair into like a mohawk. So he had Kid Rock, I'm talking about,
Mhm.
had this mohawk, and his first debut album is called Yodeling in the Valley. Yodeling in the Valley, which at first was just like a catchy tune. And I was so young, I didn't even know that meant eating. You know what I'm saying? That means
Wow.
you're doing that. So I meet him the first time. Derek goes, hey, what time you got to be home, Bandy? I'm like, I don't know, 11, 12. I don't, my dad's probably going to be asleep. He's like, fuck, you want to go get some weed? I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah. Gonzar is like, yeah, yeah. So it was like a stand by me thing. So we get in this thing, we go to Mount Clemens, to the projects in Mount Clemens. He fucking Kid Rock goes out there. I'm sitting there, it's freezing his balls. I'm freezing. Everyone, we're sitting there, we're like, we're probably gonna get shot. It's like being up in Cherry Hill in Baltimore. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And
Wow.
like
That's
wearing a
scary.
Taliban. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Right.
Mhm.
So I'm like, oh shit, man. I pulled a Vance move. Like, I don't know if this is a good idea, man. Like, but he's like, he's driving. Kid Rock is driving the goddamn car. I'm like, fuck. Anyways, 10 minutes later, he comes back. We go and we get blazed as shit. And then I started skating with him. And
Mm.
he's really a cool, very nice guy, doesn't ego trip at all. And every time that I used to go to shows, whether it be DC or Philly or anywhere around here,
People
he
remember
knew,
you.
because not only that, because I wore a Detroit Red Wings shirt and I only rolled with Jill and Jill. So I
Mhm.
had Jill, my girlfriend, and Jill, the stripper, who wanted to get with him, and
Oh.
they got together. So I saw confrontations with him and Limp Bizkit where I thought it was good. It looked like the West Side Story. I'm like, are you guys fucking serious? Like,
I'll
and
tell
my
you
boy,
what, man. People
no,
may hate on Fred Durst, but that first Limp Bizkit album was good.
no,
$3
we
bill, y'all.
I know, and we talked about this. No, I think he's very talented. The videos, everything. No,
Yeah. You don't hear much about Fred Durst nowadays, but
no,
you know, I'm sure he's
no.
still around, you know.
Or, when is it? How many yachts do you have to be behind? Why can't you just be happy? You know?
Mm.
I haven't heard anything from Pete Rock and CL Smooth, but I listened to them today.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, yeah,
Sometimes I rhyme slow, sometimes I rhyme quick.
absolutely.
Over that Tracy Chapman beat.
Oh, hey man, I don't want to really get into that, but there's been like some drama with Tracy Chapman because I believe like Nicki Minaj sampled a couple of her songs and she didn't ask permission from Tracy. So Tracy is definitely, not happy about that, Well,
Well,
she doesn't want just anybody using her music and just rapping over it, which I could totally understand, you
right.
know.
Well, and if they're not doing any new music and someone's taking off something that made them that money, they kind
Hmm.
of have the right to say, "Hey, all right, so you made $50. That means you should at least give me $20 for
Hmm.
whatever you used because driving in my car, everyone knows that song. I can listen to that in the elevator and
No, the
dance with
the track is
strangers."
called Fast Car. Fast Cars,
All
the
right,
the
thanks.
Tracy Chapman
Thank-
track.
All right.
Uh, uh,
Thanks for making me look like a jerk.
No, not at all. Um, Calm down there, brother. You know
All
what?
right. Did you?
You're about to crash I knew you were going to crash the podcast. Anyway, so
No, no. So,
next, I know you're a movie buff.
mhm.
So any standout quotes, movie quotes at all, from Wild Style or Star Wars or any other underground like graffiti movies or breakdancing or hip hop movies that you can recollect from over the years?
Sure, sure. For one,
Or you could just mention any favorites of yours.
sure. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Ozone dancing on the ceiling when it
Oh
went
yeah.
in. Yeah, that one.
Cool, cool.
Colors,
Oh.
colors. When the Bloods and Crips were actually on lockdown in front of each other, and then Ice T said, "I am a psycho walk-in." No, I am a what's it? Psychopath walking, psychopath talking, king of my gang goes just a gangster stalking. That's a good quote. And then of course, you can't handle the truth. It made you laugh. All right, what do you want? What you
Awesome.
want to pull me? What you want one from the Green Mile? I haven't seen that one in too long.
Now, next, I actually want to talk about like magazine publications because it seems like
Uh,
over the years magazines has kind of gone away. Like, I mean, I'm sure you can still pick up Juxtapose, but it's
yeah, I
definitely not like how it was when we were coming up and we
no,
had a wide range and plethora of magazines to choose
but
from.
I'm
Oh,
glad you brought. I'm glad you brought that up, Mike. This is the only one I subscribe to. It's the only good, actually, artist culture magazine that's great. To be quite
Juxtapose. Yeah, still.
juxtaposed,
Yeah,
yeah,
totally. Yeah.
I support it to death.
Because man, I used to just enjoy getting posters out of there, getting pictures and putting on my walls, and it's always good to have and cool to have something tangible in your hand, like you just picked it up and showed it to me. Whereas everybody, nowadays is just online and point and click, but
Oh
it
yeah,
can't ever be just having that tangible, you know,
quick test. Yeah,
book in your hand, right?
society always wants instant gratification. You know. So, for
Right.
instance, watch. Let me show you something real quick, and watch how quick this goes. Like, say, oh shit, I want to show you something. All I gotta do is go in my backpack. It's a medical pack, actually.
Hi, everybody that's watching. I know you saw me.
How do I flip it around?
Yeah, you're gonna want to try to stay stationary and see you
No,
can't
no,
like move around, you
I
know.
know. Justin, you didn't know.
And you gotta spread. You gotta. He
I
said
know.
you want to stay stationary, meaning you're f***ing up the kid.
Oh,
Goodness.
all right, there we go. All right,
Ah, cool, cool.
so, oh,
Right.
there, murals, murals.
Mm-hmm.
But this is as opposed to giving someone a card and having them to go through stuff.
Right.
It's instant, like, well, how about we have a pint and then you can just look at all this stuff that I've done that's gonna fucking blow your fucking mind. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, you like that one, don't you?
Yeah. That's
Oh, this
awesome.
isn't supposed to be about me. I'm sorry. Fucking this up.
Now you're changing camera around.
All right. Hold on. I'm gonna just change it around so you can't see me. I can only see you. Sorry. He knew I was gonna botch this.
I knew it too.
Shut
Oh,
up.
there you are. There you are.
All right.
Uh,
right.
yeah.
It's your show, man.
Oh, it is about you, but we just had to keep it formatted.
All right. Okay.
All right. So let's talk about jazz and hip hop and like how they coincide.
Gangstar?
We both love Diggable Planets, Gangstar, DJ
Yeah.
Premier, Tribe Called Quest.
Yes.
How do you know,
Where do you think I start? Where it started?
yeah, like how do you think that got implemented, and how it became so popular within hip hop?
I think it started mainly, and this is just my opinion, was Gangstar was business wise and hip to the fusion before anyone else was. So he came out with those mix things, and then Diggable Planets were young in Brook, they were young at that time. But
Mhm.
they had that trilogy of like three beautiful people that when they came out with the debut, I remember I was no, when they came out with the vocab, I was actually in the military and I was like, shit.
The vocab
The
is the
vocab.
vocab is the Fugees, but you're on the right line. I mean, they did do jazz and hip hop too. The early Fugees.
But that was their first like demo was the
Yeah,
vocab.
the Fugees.
Yeah.
Fugees. Yeah, we were talking about Diggable Planets though.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
Oh.
That's okay, man. It's okay. But yeah, I mean, along the same lines, same groups, Yeah,
Yeah, I know, but you asked me to put it in a timeline, so it's like I
yeah.
don't know. I guess it popped off around like 93. And then when Gangstar started doing Jazzmatazz, that was like 95, 96.
Right. And I always thought it was cool that he welcomed and implemented all the old, a lot of the old school artists on his stuff,
Yeah.
the
Well,
Bears.
why would you get part-time suckers when you have like the jazz masters that would love to be appreciated by younger? I mean,
Hmm.
if I did a painting and I sold it like yesterday, and then 20 years from today, maybe I didn't sell anything. But if someone came to my house and said, you know what, I've always liked that piece. Can you do something along that lines? But like, I would be stoked. I would be like, hell yeah, man. I would love
Hmm.
to do it for you.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So do you think like skate culture and graffiti were go hand in hand? Like a lot of
Absolutely.
people that
Oh,
that do graffiti are skaters and vice versa, that kind of like cross
yes.
pollinate.
Yeah. That and BMX bikers, because that's how we would evade the cops. Back
Yeah.
then, there was no 12 o'clock boys. We didn't have Suzuki 180, whatever, you
Right,
know?
right, right, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird. I just watched a movie about that 12 o'clock boys on HBO Max. But anyway, yeah, you're right. I think that they all go hand in hand. Those three: skating, graffiti.
And you know what else is? Check this out.
Oh yeah,
It's
the
called,
BMX. Yeah, you said the BMX. Yeah, correct.
yeah, but what's the thing where it begins with a P and they do it in Parla, where they do like acrobatic type shit off buildings. They can jump from buildings. Parquet.
I've never heard
You
of that one. Yeah.
Are you serious?
No.
dude, it's like an exercise. It's like they don't go faded, they don't do nothing. They just like they'll either rob stuff, house bikes, and then but the way they evade cops, they'll go down like like a three-store, like, in Chinatown or something, like ching 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 ching, and then run and bounce over cars. Parquet. It's called parquet. I can't believe you never heard of that.
Yeah, I have it. Yeah, yeah. That
My
sounds
little
cool.
brother, I know my little brother is 10 and he was into it 2 years ago. And he lived in Glen Burnie.
Cool, man.
Well, it's dangerous. No, I don't promote it. Don't promote it.
Mm. So me and you, we have
So,
like a lot of fond memories, like Lollapalooza, HF Festival. Any paloozas that stand out to you? Of course,
hey,
with the year the Beastie Boys played, right?
well, that one, but then The Cure, when I think I got separated, but I think you were maybe the next person that I saw. And I was on some type of hallucinogenic, and I love The Cure. I mean, they were like one of my favorite groups in the world. Always
Are
has.
you talking about the HFS festival? I remember seeing you
Oh,
there.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, 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 yeah.
But yeah,
So
I was laid all back and it was raining. I was like it was great. All right. So what are you asking? All right. So rephrase the question. I'm sorry.
no, I was just
Oh,
asking you about Lollapalooza and HF Festival. What memories, fond memories you have of those
mm,
festivals? You just said the
well,
Cure. You
well,
just said the
no, hold on.
Cure.
No, hold on. Can I ask you what yours were? Because maybe I was there. You can help me out with all these questions.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like the first one, I don't know if you went to the first one with Jane's Addiction and Ministry, Nine Inch Nails.
Nails.
The next one that had
The second one was good, but I
Red
wasn't
Hot
there.
Chili Red Hot Chili Peppers and
Oh,
yeah, then the year that Alice in Chains and Fishbone and Primus played, that was a great year.
you know what? And here's a thing that I really need to get up on is you're a huge fan of Fishbone as well as a lot of people, but I've never really given enough time to understand and appreciate them. I mean,
Yeah,
they've got
they're definitely all over the place, dude.
they've got a cult following, man. People love.
Yeah, I'm just saying their style. They implement a lot of different styles in their music,
Uh,
So it's definitely. But yeah, you're right. They have a big following. Yeah, it's a great show
well,
too.
you should
Great
hook
show.
me up with like I don't know an album to start off with, like a starter kit. Like
Yeah.
when I started off with Red Hot Chili Peppers, I went right to the Uplift Mofo Party Plan. I didn't go to Freaky Style, nah, because I was skating. Yeah, I was like, fuck Freaky Style. Uplift Mofo Party Plan. That shit was mentally enshrined in my brain.
Is that the album that had George Clinton on it? Because I know
Mm,
George Clinton is on like one of those early Chili Peppers
yeah,
albums.
I think that might be Mother's Milk, the one that came out after that. I don't know.
Oh, okay. All right.
You might be right. I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, look at my 40s getting low.
I hear you, dude.
Oh, dog. No, I'm having a good time. This is the first time I was telling people.
So during the quarantine, do you feel like you've been more creative during this time, or have you always kind of just been hanging out
Uh,
in the house?
actually, no. I feel more productive because I've lived this isolation lifestyle my entire life. It's like I don't like the majority of people. I think
Yeah.
especially in certain cities, people are assholes. Um, so now people feel like they can even be more mean and it's going to be okay because, oh, we have more problems. But in the same sense, we should be nicer to each other.
Hmm.
And when you talk to people that are nice, it's brilliant. So I like to go out and socialize, go to Ace Hardware, buy some spray paint, go to Giant, get whatever, some cereal or some shit or whatever,
I
or
hear
even
you.
go to Mick O'Shea's. I went to Mick O'Shea's, had some Guinness stouts, city.
Are the bars open in Baltimore?
Yeah, and yeah, we got bars open.
Man, we can't
Oh,
go into the bar here. We gotta sit
oh
outside.
man. Hey, Mike, and not only that, check this out. we got bars that we go to with the bartenders that we know. So imagine that.
Exactly.
That's a win-win.
So you were showcased in a graffiti publication. Was it the History of Graffiti or the East Coast History of Graffiti? What was the name of the publication?
That is correct. American history. Yes. And it went by my I write Zer and I write Rez. So Rez,
Those are your tags.
yes, they have been ever since. Like if you look over your shoulder, you'll see both written above this chick holding the martini glass.
Mm-hmm.
There, Rez there. But yeah, I've only written two things ever since I've been 13. I'm not a mathematician, but I'm 46. So you can do the math.
So who are the most legendary tags over the
Oh,
years that you can rattle off to me?
easily. Shaken, She, a wreck, Dame, Circus, Caspa.
Was Scheme one?
Schemes from okay. Now you're talking New York. I was just busting out be more shit. No,
Oh,
scheme, Dondi, scene. Oh, I'll be here all day, man.
yeah.
I thought you were talking about certain locations.
Yeah,
I was
yeah, yeah.
I was just representing the B.
Well, that's good though. That's good because a lot of people might not know about those tags. You know what I'm saying? Baltimore's a small town.
Hey, I know it is. Hey, Mike, can you do me a favor though? Can you just tell your folks the one small story how you make fun of me about, like, even though I do know people and I have had phones, soup cans, and all that stuff. Tell them about my Rolodex thing and about how many people I do know and how easy it is for me to get a hold of them. Come on, it's a funny story.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
When we were working where?
Probably at Phillips.
No, Baltimore Brewing Company. What? Or
I
we were up.
never worked. I never worked there.
All right. Anyways,
Yeah, I only worked with you one place, and that was at Phillips.
Phillips. But we always
Yeah.
were upstairs getting drunk and
Oh
stoned.
yeah,
So.
yeah, yeah. We're always up there hanging out for sure.
All right. So
Yeah.
tell the story. This story is classic.
I don't really remember the story, dude.
Yes, you do. I asked you to write down a certain number. You're like, Bandy, you can put this in your phone. And I'm like, if I did, I would say, I wouldn't have said shit. I would have said, hey, can me and my friend Mike get two more fuels? But instead, I asked you to put it in there, and you're like, God damn, Bandy, you're like from WKRP in Cincinnati, that 70s show where they have a Rolodex. And I'm like, a Rolodex? I'm like, God damn. Meaning I live in Bedrock and he's so hip on technology. I'm as dumb as, oh, God damn it.
All right, so on this last part of the podcast, right? It's called I'm do top four, right? And I asked, my musician friends and artists such as yourself,
Mm-hmm.
their top four, whether it be MCs, rock bands, producers, guitar players, top
Okay.
four East Coast MCs. No,
Uh,
just hold on. Top four MCs, period.
okay. Okay.
Period.
Oh,
Top four.
okay. Okay. God damn. Jesus Christ. I'm nervous, dude.
Why?
Because all right, A plus.
From Souls of Mischief?
Yes.
Okay.
Dell. Is he other side?
It doesn't matter where they're from. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
good, because I'm really feeling like I'm in the principal's office. All right,
Dell.
yeah.
A
Dell.
plus Dell.
Yeah, yes.
Two more.
All right. I thought I get 5.
All right, three more.
Okay. Jesus, you suck at this. All right. Chuck D.
Okay. Yeah.
KRS-One.
There you go.
Why are you pausing?
Excuse me, I'm not pausing.
Oh, KRS-One's from Brooklyn, in case you didn't know East Coast, West Coast.
KS1 is not from Brooklyn. Because remember, the bridge is over. He's from Queensbridge. Oh, hold on. Where is he from? Queensbridge or?
All right, all right, all right. I'll switch. J. Rue the Damager. J. Rue. J. Rue.
Oh,
J.
a lot of people don't mention J. Rue.
Oh, I know. I'm not a normal person. That's why I'm here. If you had a normal person, hon, they would be like Biggie Smalls, dude.
All right, top 5 rock bands.
Oh shit, easy. From the East Coast?
It doesn't matter, dude.
Oh, all right, all right. Led Zeppelin, Van Halen, Queen. Playback, please. Playback. Playback.
I'm sure you're gonna say the Doors or the Police.
Doors. Yep, you got it. Thank you. Oh shit, I left out Hendrix. Can I remove Hendrix, or can I replace Hendrix for the one douchey one I put in there?
None of those bands are douchey.
I know, fuck, but all right.
And to go back on the KRS-One thing, he's from the Bronx. Cause remember?
So does that mean so he's legit?
Yeah, because that's where hip hop
All
started.
right. Yeah. Oh yeah, I read about that somewhere. Okay, next question.
All right, and then we're almost done too, because I could tell that you're
Oh,
getting,
Hey, I got plenty of time. I got plenty of time.
So let's talk about like the crossover between like metal and hip hop. Like I remember me and you having a couple conversations about the Judgment Day soundtrack.
Yeah,
Where like
which I thought was
all the
mash.
songs on the soundtrack were like mashups, right?
Yeah. And
like,
I've always been a fan of mashups. I think it's the greatest thing. And we did have a previous conversation, and I was bummed because you said Dell wasn't into the whole Clint Eastwood thing.
oh, the Gorillas. Yeah, I saw him say that in the interview. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was
Yeah.
like, man, you know what? That hurts my feelings because I think they flow. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is a great track.
Right. So
one
let
of
me
his
ask,
best tracks, I would say.
and why would he diss it? Maybe, you know what? I don't think he got paid properly, to be quite honest.
Well, hey man,
Why
that's an
would you talk-
interesting aspect on it. Interesting
Yeah,
for you to say that.
Yeah, why else would you talk smack? All
Right,
right, all right, I got a question for you now, Mike.
Go ahead.
All right, the mashup that we're talking about, off that great movie.
Judgment Day.
There was like Cypress, Soundgarden, a bunch of different people. I can't even
Biohazard and Onyx. Helmet was on the soundtrack.
What was your
Jesus and Mary Chain? Jesus and Mary Chain was on the soundtrack. Anyway, go ahead.
I love Mary Chain. So what were your favorite two tracks off the entire soundtrack?
It would have to have been the Biohazard and Onyx. I love that.
Onyx?
You never liked Onyx? Okay.
No, they're just too rah. They're like DMX. They're like dogs.
Anyway, you asked me my favorite, and I'm giving it to you. And I believe Living Color was on that. They had a song with someone.
You've always been a sucker for In Living Color. Dude.
The band Living Color? Yeah, I love Living Color. Yes, they're great. They are awesome.
I
man.
do too. I know.
Yeah, even better
personality. My man Mike is a cultural personality.
All right, man.
I don't know. I thought they were fruity, dude. They were wearing like tights back in the day, man.
Well, who wasn't wearing tights back in the day?
Hammer.
Poison was wearing tights. Hey, when I was watching freaking not Crush Groove, but Beat Street last week, all those early MCs, all Cool Herc, all of them, Jazzy J, they all were wearing feathers in their heads.
Well, guess what?
Freaking fur coats and all types of female get-ups. Spandex.
Mike, I was just watching Juice today. Juice. I watched, listen, you're not going to believe me, but first I watched ER because ER the character, the black guy, is the DJ from Juice. And I always hated at first when I was young. I liked Bishop. I liked, I'm hardcore. I'm fucking Tupac. Blah blah blah. Nah, he was the dickhead. He was the piece of shit. He was the enemy. And then when they killed the fat guy, terrible. But no, I think his name is Michael Epps, is the actor that played in
Juice.
Juice and ER. 4 seasons.
Omar Epps is his name.
Oh, okay.
Right, Omar Epps. Yeah, you're right. He was in Juice with Tupac.
Mm-hmm.
That's how far he goes back.
I love that. That movie is so awesome. I love it.
Yeah. It was a long time ago.
I was actually talking to a female DJ recently, and we were like, it's amazing how they can like set up things in such a small place. She's like, well, where do you live? Like, it seems like you live in a studio. I'm like, nah. I live in like a big bedroom, and it's like, my shit.
You know what they need is a modern day version of Kids. Remember that movie, Kids?
Yes. Hey, you know who was in Kids?
Rosario Dawson.
He was in The Wire. He was a junkie in The Wire.
He was in Kids?
No, the Kids, the main character,
Uh-huh.
him.
Mm-hmm.
He became the junkie in the show The Wire for 3 seasons.
Really?
Yes. For season 3, 4, and 5, he was an informant.
Oh, he was with Bugs. Yeah, he was with Bugs. So that dude was in Kids. Oh, you know what? I didn't even know that, man. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
That's him.
Yeah, man. As a little kid, I had to picture him as a little kid. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I remember that movie so much, because it was funny. I was talking to my aunt. She lives in Boca Raton, and she still smokes out. She's like, oh yeah, well, medical cards. I was like, yeah, I can get them, but they're like 175. I'm like, shit, you can send that right to my address. I can go get dime bags for dime bags. It's like getting it from Central Park, where it's just hand on. And that reminded me of the movie Kids, where it's like, do a kick flip, you get your beat, and it's like, yo, what the fuck you bumping into, motherfucker? Right. And I did that same thing with Matuja down there, and it was the same type of thing, not with the skateboards, but it was kind of like, don't fuck with those Jamaicans. And me and my girlfriend, I was with Rosansky, we're walking through, and she's like, what the hell is this place? They're playing chess here, these guys are over here, they're balling over there. And I'm like, look, man, we're just trying to get some weed. Shut the fuck up, please.
You must have been in Washington Square Park. That's where you guys were in New York.
And it wasn't even a hand-to-hand. It was like he threw it down. He didn't even want to.
Wow. He's like, you're not going to be taping me on this transaction.
I thought I was in Istanbul. I'm like, I didn't think we were getting some like hash or like some opium. Like, what the fuck? It's a dime of weed, man. But I don't know. New York is lovely.
It is, man. I would love to go back there and visit more, but I want to hang out in the cool spots,
I wish I knew how to play handball, and I wish I wish you would have more patience to teach me how to play tennis, because you're a good tennis player.
Oh yeah, man. But yeah, Kids, they need to revamp that, dude.
I know.
2021.
I don't know if they did anything after that, like part 2, but he played a role in Sopranos, the white kid.
He was in Sopranos too, huh?
Yeah, like series like 4 or some shit. Yeah, he played some punk ass white kid, but he could never shake that role. He always looked like that white, like, drug dealing,
he was
cruddy.
Right. They just put him in one sort of role. Yeah. Well, the black guy that was in Kids, he died. I think he had died of an overdose. The only black kid that was skating with him.
Well, he was actually a skater. Like
he was a real skater. Yeah.
Hey, you know who I've been talking to recently and getting in contact about making money? Chris Schaefer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw where he made a suit from HR with for HR from Bad Brains. He came into
Hmm.
a he came into a shop. Yeah, and also Matuja has a podcast now, so you should ask him about getting on his podcast.
No shit.
Yeah, I saw it on Facebook.
Shit. Is there any
Yeah.
way can you call him up right now?
No, no, I don't know. You're gonna have to contact him, but
All right, I
but
will.
dude, it was great talking with you, dude. Thanks for answering
Oh,
my questions, man. I'm gonna gotta
hey,
sign off here,
all right,
but
man. I love you, brother.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Of
All right,
course.
peace.
Hey, so yeah, and then what? Can you send this back?